shove it on those forks over there.
Okay.
Just like this.
How far does that telescope out?
To there. I think it'll go high enough like that, but I need little straps. Where are those straps at? I think it was still.
And that stitching on there is enough to...
Yeah. I think it's got a couple of 1,000 pounds.
Really?
It's rated on there somewhere. Yeah, I'm gonna try to see, because it's not centered. It needs to be another foot, maybe that way. Okay. So I'm gonna move the tractor, or if it is it slidable? You want to undo it? Let me lower it down a little bit.
No, you're good.
Okay. There we go. Yeah, slide it down just a little ways. Maybe a little bit more. Maybe just a hair more. Another 6 inches. Okay, that's probably good.
Okay, how did you...
I just threw that, just like that, either way. Whichever one it works. Yeah. Okay, let me move this. The best thing is to kind of
exact center is.
Probably
Where that thing is.
About where that line is, I bet.
Should I stand that way?
Well, I think as long as you're, like if it's a little heavy on this end, I think if you were to take this and just lift it up a little bit, because it probably right then it probably wouldn't have taken much to lift it up a hair.
Okay.
So you can lift it up, and I just want to come straight out. I want to come straight out here.
Okay.
And I'm probably going to jump off and grab some of these pieces of wood, and I'm going to set it on there so that we can put the other one right on top of it.
So where's the,
Yeah, it's all over there.
the wood that it's on?
Yeah, the wood that it's on. We'll grab those too.
Okay.
All right. Let's see. Actually, I don't think they're gonna. Yeah, you better.
Well, yeah, because you've got them together. But okay, I'm gonna do it anyway.
Yep.
I don't know. What do you think?
Yeah, you're a good guideline girl. I would just take it and run it through the other one together. Maybe you just make a loop out of it. I don't know. However you want to do it. It'll work. All right, ready?
Hang on. Okay.
Yeah, that's good. So I'm just going to get it up as high as it'll go, see if it'll hold it.
Okay.
And then if it does, I'm going to lower it back down. We'll leave everything the way it is. I'm going to loosen the set screw up, and I'm going to run it out longer to see if it'll lift it up.
Okay.
It ain't gonna lift it.
Okay, but when you lift it, it's going to be bolted together, so it's going to be...
Same weight, a little more balance because it's going to be like this right in the middle, but it won't be able to lift all that up. But if I put one side on, like if we make a U-shape with everything together, get it all structurally right, just without the center part, put an anchor in the ground over here and drive it in like a T-post, and then put a strap on the very top of that one there, so whenever we hook one onto it, it won't try to bend over. You follow me in the middle? So we'll put a strap, we'll bolt it down so it's tight. So in order for it to bend, it probably hold its own weight, as far as even with that on there.
Oh, I see, the pole that you're connected to.
Right. And then we'll pick up one a little off center so it tries to hit that angle, lift it up, bolt it in place. Make sure that the strap out here that's stabilizing it is tight.
I think it's going to take more than one strap.
I don't know. I don't know. It's going to be bolted down.
Yeah.
But we could put two straps on it, right? Put an anchor over here, or a T-post here, angled, and then tie strap both of them, pull it tight, and then take one edge angled. That way we can extend it out a little bit, get a little more height, bolt that one in place, and then slowly let loose, see if it holds. If it does, grab the other one, go over there, do the same thing. But we'll do that maybe another time. It's pretty windy right now, so we'll just build half of it real quick.
Let's do it.
Okay.
What can I do?
I'm going to try to figure out what nuts, bolts, and washers we need real quick. So I got extras. This is for the small one. Okay. These nuts right here. And then we need to figure which one of these go between those. I'll get my tape measure. Brought that one tape measure.
I saw you had it. You had it hooked on you, and then you took it off.
Yeah. Here's the instructions. I don't know. We'll use this one right here. these long ones on there.
Okay.
Use it as a desk,
Okay.
maybe. You want some gloves? See how hot that is.
Oh, yeah.
I'm looking for the openings, and we'll find a picture of those pieces right here. See how it shows you the C, what position they're in?
Oh, okay.
So this corner one, so this is this direction. It's like this. So this corner one, the C is facing this way.
Okay.
And the next one's the opposite way. Yeah, that won't work.
So this is the wrong piece.
Oh, no, I'm looking at it wrong. Yeah, watch this. This is how it goes.
All right, that makes more sense.
Yeah,
then, huh?
so EC1 is pointing inward. So those two face each other, the C's,
Okay.
and this one faces that one.
Okay.
Okay. All right, so I'm gonna have you hold it into position. All right, just hold her steady.
Okay, I can do that.
Hold her steady. Now we'll put this one up real quick, and we'll put the cross piece, kind of strengthen it a little bit. Yeah,
Now,
that's gonna be.
kind of short, so
Yeah, I'll go get that step ladder. I mean that ladder. So it needs to be one that's somewhere 6 feet, 2 inches. Yeah, right here, if I'd have paid a little more attention to the drawings, you could see that G1 labeled right here is what we were working on right there. And this next little thing shows you G1 is 6 feet 1.5 inches long. So all that stuff is really pretty easy to find. Yeah. These right here. Just, yeah, we'll set the shorter ones right there. All right.
So this is the one we need.
Yes,
right?
ma'am. Let's go both go get the ladder because that's heavy. Okay, what bolts go in this? I don't know. We really had a hard time here trying to, or I had a hard time trying to figure out exactly how these side girts went, what direction they wanted them to go on top of these brackets between each of the uprights on the end wall. So if you look closely right here, this G1 is the girt we're fixing to put up, and the one we're fixing to hit is this girt here. Now on the sidewall girts on all the buildings I see, the C is pointed upward, and a lot of times that's at 7 foot, and a lot of times guys will run wiring through those for lights and kind of hide up in that channel. But I can also find pictures of girts that are put with the C down like this. So this side dimension right here, this is the sidewall with the 2 garage door openings here, and this is the corner that we're working on. And in a minute, when I go to K2 right here, it is going to give a dimension of how that hooks onto that upright that goes between the garage doors, the garage door. The first thing we were doing is trying to figure out right here, trying to figure out if G1 goes up or down. It doesn't say. Clearly this picture here shows it to be pointing downward. There's one on each one, but let me, I'm not going to be able to, what I'm going to have you do is hand me two.
Okay.
And then you're going to get on the other side and push it. I want you to push that beam this way. What I'm going to have to do is I'm going to have to loosen that bolt on your side so it can tilt this way. That's barely on there right now. Okay.
Oh, there we go.
Okay.
That's pretty handy to go on both sides.
Oh, I know. There we go.
For you.
Yeah.
I'm good to have one.
I'm gonna put washers on these.
Oh, you didn't? Did you put washers?
No, I'll have to go back. Because I did buy enough.
Exactly does a washer do?
Well, for these, they fit the bolt tighter. The holes are really big, so it spreads the load out a little bit. I think so, yeah.
And kind of leave them all loose until you get to a point and start them all down.
Yeah, I think leave them loose and then put like straps from one corner down the other and get it squared up with that level. And then even then I'll just leave those on it everywhere till like almost everything is done. So that was close. And that needs to be moved just a hair that way, which there's enough hole space for that to go in. We'll tighten this one down on this side, nice and tight. And then we'll snug this one up a little bit. Okay, so
There.
yeah,
Almost level.
pretty close. Okay, so I'm pretty sure this one, so this one doesn't have a bracket on the bottom, and that's where those brackets come in. So it's going to take one of these and those brackets so I need a SG1 and a BC4.
Okay.
So BC4 is the bottom one, and then an SG1 is going to be in.
I have a DC. Where that goes, like
Yeah, so we could do that and put that one there because we're going to need that one as well, and it takes the same one for that one. So another one of those down here, whatever it was,
Okay.
because we'll put it up too.
Ew.
Spiderage. We'll bolt this bracket on here.
Oh, okay, that makes sense.
Bolt it there first, loose.
Okay.
And then, oh, this is the top. This is the top. Let's spin it around.
How can you tell?
Because of these holes right there is the top of the garage door.
Gotcha.
Oh, let's set it over on the bench. Okay. So this one will go here. Yeah, that's this one right here, as a matter of fact. But yeah, let's put another one up here.
Get another one?
Yes, I think so.
Both of them.
Okay, so another BC4 down there. Yeah, I should have an SGC1, unless I marked it wrong.
ESC.
Oh, here's the SG1s.
Oh.
Okay, so we need 2 of these.
But the BC4 do go here?
BC4 goes on the bottom. Yes. Let's go here. I just don't know if they go like this or the other way.
Well, I would think they'd go that way.
Yeah, so hold it to the bottom of the BC4 and it should be 10 feet. So that's 10 feet. Alright, so it's going to have to go there. So I'm going to double check those. SG1. K2 is the picture. Okay, so now we've come to this piece right here. We've got these brackets that need to be bolted onto this upright, DJ1. And this drawing here on K2 shows how this girt goes. And the other picture shows the C shape to be down. And the only way for it to go that way is to bolt it up from the bottom. And let's look at K2 right here to show how confusing it is to me. Okay, here is K2. This is the upright right here for the garage door down that side. And it has these fin neck bolts that go in because that needs to be flat. This bracket right here, which is the SGC1, bolts to this. It doesn't say particularly what direction the L goes, but from this picture, obviously the L it goes upward from there. And what you can't tell from this is if this C bolted on top of this bracket or if it goes underneath it, because one of these 2 lines would be dotted. If this C purlin, which it appears to me that it's shaped like this when I'm looking down on it, and that if it was bolted up from the bottom, this line right here would be dotted. If it's laying on top of that bracket, then this line right here will be dotted, one or the other. And so the other side of this one is this drawing. It's D4 right here. So here is the outer bracket that sticks out, and here's the inner one. It shows this outer girt with the dotted lines here, like if it's facing the other way, facing down. And one picture shows it one way, one picture shows it another. Here, let me show you them side by side here real quick. Okay, so here's one side. This is the corner piece, and this is like, in my mind, I'm looking down at the top view of it, and it looks like this is bolted from the bottom with the C pointing down. This looks like it's bolted on the bottom with the C pointed up. This here is the same piece, and so I'm really confused as to which way to go. And we just we put it with the C pointing down. Eventually, you'll see here in a bit. This is going to be C-shaped. That one right here.
Which way?
So this piece that goes from here to there. And here's the little bracket we're looking at right now, and it goes this way, and it's going to sit on top of that.
Okay.
Oh, maybe it does not. Maybe it goes the other way. Maybe it bolts up underneath. So let's find this piece that goes from here to here, and it is a shorty, probably this one. $55.5. It either bolts to the 2 holes on this side or that side, and it bolts from the bottom. So it either goes like
Okay, so I have a question.
oh, it does. It goes all the way to the outside.
Okay, I have a silly question.
Ask it.
Okay, that one's going to have to be flipped up, right? It's going to have to be turned this way to bolt it to that. There's no way.
No, it can bolt up straight to the bottom. Yeah, these 2 bolts go in there, and it goes off the bottom. Underneath.
So are you sure that we don't have this one turned the wrong way?
I don't know. It might be. It doesn't show in the pictures really. Yeah, DHC. Yep. that makes sense. Those are going to go here on the other side.
Like that?
Yeah, on the other side. We have this bracket here, and here's a garage door opening. Then we'll put another bracket on the other side so that piece can bolt up to it.
Okay.
And the top one we'll put, which is a number 3, and number 3 is a ESCL, and an ESC1L, and an ESC1R. Yeah, we can turn those around the other way. So those things, they're going
to bolt those down there?
Yes, yes.
Is that the same one?
I know it has to be because I'll show. So it's going to be these again. 1, 2, 3, 4. Flip these over and we'll put those there. Yeah, 10 feet. So it's adjustable, so you make it right at 10 feet when you have the piece there. And this one here, shaped like that.
Okay.
Because that part is going to be the top of the garage door. That makes sense? Maybe a little bit.
Maybe.
So this takes regular bolts here.
So the kind over there?
Yep. Yeah, so that's an M1. And the M1 takes 1/2 inch by 1 bolts.
What's your value?
Yeah, yeah. So we'll need, right now, just 4 of each. Yeah, but see how big those holes are? I wonder if, I think I got enough washers to do this, right? And then the washers on the other side too. Here. I think it's a possibility. I know.
All right, I'm going to start cleaning up.